We had 4, I think, who gave 10,000. One was the council, one of the big employers and a couple of individuals. Quite a lot of, 1 to 5,000, but half of our money came in from community people giving $50 or $100.
Yeah, okay.
And that was, $50 or $100 was a lot of money to them, and they really could see the benefit.
The major lesson we learned was that if you want to fundraise and bring in dollars and raise awareness of your foundation, you've got to embrace the community, and that's how we did it.
Philanthropy is about passion. It's about getting people's hearts as well as their minds and their dollars. You can't start with the dollars though, it doesn't work.
One of the really big challenges that I'm sure most people struggle with is you have to raise money because money defines the fact that it's a foundation, but community means that you have to start with people and you've got to keep juggling one and the other.
To set up the community foundation, first we needed some funding to run some public meetings, to do a feasibility study.
We were given some seed funding by Albury Council. We were also given some seed funding from FRRR, and that was the start of it. That was the hard and the really, really lean years, and it really just grew from there.
Well, it started off small, sausage sizzles and collecting cans, making cards, all those thoughts, and it was, look, we encourage that because I guess at that point the idea was for everyone to be involved. The more people that could be involved and understood it, the better off it was.
I think initially we started like a lot of groups, with the afternoon teas, and we had the raffles, and we did a high tea, and we did a few things like that, and decided pretty quickly we were going to burn the board out.
When first starting off in fundraising, I think you need to focus very specifically on a certain area.
So what we try and work through is really, the time versus effort versus money in scenario in terms of that fundraising now. So it's about trying to work smarter, not necessarily harder.
Consider all of their strategies, where you get your best traction, then condense and focus your energies. And once you've got that progressing, you can build out from there and find the next little area that is giving you the best amount of traction.
As a community foundation, we don't necessarily look for the big, large donation or necessarily the large bequest. We're looking for a lot of people just to give a little bit.
One initiative that started 5 years ago now was to develop the Community Leaders Group. So they're a group of individuals or businesses, families who donate $2,000 a year, and initially they committed to doing that for 5 years. That is a way to get people involved early, and it also keeps them involved.
We also do a bit of work with Andrew going and speaking to different lawyer groups and accounting firms, and they're ones because they're making wills, and that's a very important part of people leaving money to us.
Our fundraising is mainly groups or individuals coming to us, organising fundraising events that benefit the community foundation. The biggest of that being is the mayoral charity ball each year. This is run by volunteers and has become an event everybody wants to attend. Tickets are in demand, sponsorships in demand, and is raising something like $30,000 a year for the Bass Coast Community Foundation.
One unique thing that Give Where You Live does is we appoint a campaign leader every year. So it's an annual position, and it's really an ambassadorial position for our annual fundraising efforts.
Part of my responsibility and aim is to really engage SMEs and to make sure that they understand that corporate social responsibility isn't just the domain of large multinational corporations, that really any kind of business can get engaged and active in the work of Give Where You Live.
One of our opportunities has been to assist with the local Ironman competition, and through a partnership with the local council we were able to assist them with just manpower and understanding that an event like that just doesn't happen overnight. It needs a lot of manpower. We assisted them just with the actual volunteers, and in return they gave us $30 an actual volunteer, which has been about $7,500 coming to the fund, which is fantastic.
And we found the fundraising so successful in the first instance from the government initiative, where people were donating $1 and received $3. They felt that grew their own donation, that we've encompassed the same principle locally.
What they're doing this time is they're approaching 10 of us to put in a sum of money. Then they're going to the community at large and saying, if we can raise this sum of money, these people over here will match it. So we're having a mini challenge in Benalla.
Our research told us that the greatest growth came from existing donors topping up their funds or from donors referring their friends to the community foundations. So personal referrals became very important.
Some of them did that restaurant where you have a little at the bottom of your bill, you can they automatically say there'll be an extra $1 or $2.
We use a number of different tools to fundraise. We have a customer relationship management or CRM system that is pretty critical to us. It certainly documents and keeps track of who we're contacting and communicating with, when we do it and why we do it, and that's pretty important because people certainly get a little tired of constantly receiving communication.
One of the newer initiatives of fundraising in Australia is crowdfunding. It's not so well known. It uses an online platform where there are rewards for donors, and the concept is a large volume of people giving small amounts of money.
I think my favourite fundraiser as part of the Challenge Grant Appeal was that we had a local Year 11 student who set out to do a Guinness World Record challenge for the number of people solving a Rubik's Cube at one time. And that was just awesome. Set a Guinness World Record, it raised funds for the community, and it was just such a fabulous, fun thing to do, and it was just wonderful to see young people in our community really thinking about how they could put back into the community.